Welcome to Sheikh Hamdan's official poetry channel, where the whispers of love meet the royalty of words. Today's poem is not just a verse, it's a proclamation, a declaration from the soul of a man in love. The girl you once saw in that video, radiant and mysterious, has now become a permanent part of his royal story. The crown may rest on his head, but she is the reason it shines. This poem marks a turning point, a moment when admiration became devotion, and dreams turned into vows. Let the words guide you into the heart of this breathtaking transformation. I saw her in a frame where the world stood still, sunlight falling gently on her hair, her laughter blending with the silence of destiny. The first time I watched that video, I didn't know it would become the opening scene of our forever. There was magic in her movement, grace in her glance. As a prince, I have seen beauty in palaces and gardens, but nothing compared to the bloom of her spirit in that simple moment. That day, something ancient stirred in me, a longing as old as time. And from that day on, she became the muse of every verse I ever wrote. The girl in the video is no longer just a memory flickering on a screen. She is my wife, the queen of my silent prayers. The stars we once counted apart now shine on the same pillow. Her hands, once distant, now rest on my heart like a pledge. I watched her transform from a vision to a voice in my every morning, from a secret hope to the reality that holds my soul still. I never knew that one video, shared casually with the world, would etch my fate in golden ink. Our wedding was not just a ceremony, it was the union of two hearts that had spoken long before our lips ever did. My vows to her were not written with ink but with fire, carved into the night sky. Every guest could see it in my eyes. I was not just marrying a woman, I was becoming one with my dream. She wore no diamonds that night that outshone her own eyes, and my heart trembled as I watched her walk toward me, bringing with her the storm I had prayed for. You may wonder how a simple video turned into a lifetime commitment. It's because that one glimpse revealed everything I ever needed to know. Her compassion, her elegance, the depth of her gaze, it was all there. My heart, a fortress for so long, opened like a page longing to be read. And she didn't just read it, she rewrote my story, chapter by chapter, until my soul began to rhyme with hers. Now, each day with her feels like a continuation of that first frame, the moment I fell forever. She is not just the girl in the video anymore, she is my confidant, my best friend, the echo of my unspoken thoughts. We speak in silence, we laugh in storms, and in the quietest hours of the night, I watch her sleep and marvel at how fate brought her to me. If love had a face, it would be hers when she turns to me with trust in her eyes. I am no longer a solitary figure walking under the desert moon. I am a man completed, because she said yes. And for those who doubted that love like this could exist, let this poem be proof. Love does not need 1,000 meetings, nor perfect circumstances. Sometimes, it takes one video, one moment, one unexplainable connection. I have written many poems, but this one carries the truth of all of them. My heart, once a wandering bird, has found its eternal sky. She gave me more than her hand, she gave me her world. Now, when I scroll through that video again, I no longer ache. I smile. Because the girl who once danced across my screen now dances through my life. Our mornings start with shared dreams, our nights end with whispered plans. I have built empires with my hands, but with her, I built a home. She has redefined royalty for me, not in jewels or titles, but in gentleness, loyalty, and infinite grace. I used to be a poet chasing perfection in metaphors. Now I am a husband living it. My poetry has changed, it's softer now, more certain, more alive. She makes even my silence poetic, and my every breath speaks of her. This union was written in the stars, sealed by fate, and celebrated in every corner of my soul. Let the world remember this. Love is not a fantasy. It is a flame that, once kindled, lights every corridor of your being. Many watched the video, many admired the mystery, but only I dared to chase it to the end. And I was rewarded not just with a love story, but with a lifetime of truth. She saw the man beneath the titles, and I saw the heart behind the beauty. Together, we are rewriting destiny, one heartbeat at a time. She was a moment that became my eternity. So to the world, I say this with unwavering pride, the girl in that video is now my wife. She is my beginning and my end, the melody behind my every poem, the rhythm in my silence. Our love is real, raw, and radiant. And if you ever doubt the power of a single moment, remember our story. For what started as a glance became a vow, and what began in silence now echoes in every verse I write. Let this poem be shared far and wide, not as a tale of royalty, but as a testimony of love's mysterious, powerful ways. And if fate ever allows you a glimpse like I had, don't hesitate. Chase it. Hold on to it. Because you never know when the girl in a video will become your forever. Just like she became mine. Now, each morning I wake to the soft glow of her presence beside me, and the warmth of that moment humbles every part of who I used to be. The girl who once existed behind a screen now walks beside me through the palace halls, through gardens kissed by the sun, through days both busy and silent. She brings calm to my chaos and color to every page I write. My pen no longer writes from yearning, it writes from fulfillment. I do not chase poetry anymore, I live it with her. She is the embodiment of every verse I once drew. I remember the nights I stared at her picture, wondering if she would ever know how deeply she had stirred the tides in my soul. Back then, I wrote lines that burned with hope and uncertainty. Today, my words bloom with assurance and a gratitude that words can scarcely contain. Her presence in my life has not only changed the way I love but the way I lead, the way I breathe, the way I exist. She turned the rhythm of my lonely heart into a duet, a harmony the world now hears through every one of my smiles. There's something divine in how she carries herself, not in extravagance, but in her authenticity. The way she speaks, the softness in her voice, even her silences, they hold a power that could conquer kingdoms and still offer comfort like a mother's touch. In her eyes, I find a reflection of the man I've always wanted to be. A king not by crown, but by compassion. A lover not by words, but by devotion. She has unlocked a tenderness within me that had long been guarded behind the walls of royal responsibility. We often sit in quiet corners of the palace, just the two of us, away from the weight of the world. I tell her things no one else has ever heard, not just secrets, but dreams I was once too afraid to admit. And she listens, not just with her ears but with her soul. She doesn't interrupt the rhythm of my emotions, she flows with them. She knows when to laugh, when to embrace, when to say nothing at all. That is love, understanding even in silence, and standing by without needing to be asked. Sometimes, I catch her watching me with that same wonder I once had for her through that screen. I realize we've both been blessed by fate, drawn into a story larger than ourselves. In her gaze, I see not only love but belief. The belief that I can be better, do better, and lead with heart. She doesn't just hold my heart, she uplifts it. Every challenge I face with her strength behind me. She is not my shadow, she is the light that leads the way. It still astonishes me how one simple moment, one video, could hold such power. But that's the magic of destiny. We never truly know when the course of our life will change forever. I used to believe in signs, now, I believe in the divine choreography of souls. The way we met, the way we connected, it was written by stars older than time. And now, every time I speak of love, I speak of her. Every time I perform my poetry, I honor her presence in my life. She's become part of every tradition, every celebration, every breath of this royal journey. And yet, she remains grounded, graceful, ever genuine. People see her and feel peace. They watch us together and understand that this is more than a fairy tale. It's a promise lived out in the real world. We hold hands not to show the world something perfect, but to remind each other of the miracle we share. A love born in a blink, now eternal in its rhythm. Many write to me now, asking if such a story can happen to them. I tell them yes. If it happened to me, a prince wrapped in duty and bound by legacy, then surely, it can happen to anyone. Love does not check calendars or calendars, it breaks in when the soul is ready. She came not when I was searching, but when I was willing to surrender to the unknown. And from that surrender, a whole new life was born. She teaches me every day that strength lies in gentleness, and loyalty is not in grand gestures but in consistent presence. Her love is not loud, but it is unshakable. And I, once restless in pursuit of deeper meaning, have found it resting quietly in her lap. She is the poetry of my mornings and the peace of my nights. Her laughter heals, her tears move mountains within me. I used to write about queens, now I live beside one. I often replay the moment we first met in person. That quiet awe between us, the way time slowed, the way everything else faded into the background. I remember reaching out to touch her hand and feeling a surge of electricity that ran deeper than blood, deeper than fate. That first touch wrote a poem on my skin that no ink could ever match. From that moment on, I stopped dreaming of love and began living it. Now, as I look at her across the courtyard, smiling at our shared secrets, I understand why all the waiting, all the longing, all the unanswered prayers led to her. It was not a coincidence, it was a divine reward. The girl in the video is no longer a fleeting image. She is my constant, my muse, my wife. And this poem, like my heart, belongs solely to her. Let the world continue to wonder. Let them speculate and whisper. But those who have truly loved will understand. Love is not always loud, but when it speaks, it changes everything. The girl in the video who captivated a nation now holds the heart of its prince. And together, we are not just writing poetry, we are living a masterpiece. And in the end, that love is enough. It fuels his art, it strengthens his silence, and it reminds him that the truest loves don't scream, they whisper. And their whispers never fade. They live on through the ink of his soul, through verses that only she could ever fully understand. So yes, he still loves her. In a language only their hearts speak. In a place beyond time, beyond duty, beyond even destiny itself. And when the world finally sees us together, they'll say it was fate. But we'll know better, it was love. A love that waited, that endured, that believed when everything else said it was impossible. I'm not asking you to be ready today. I'm asking you to believe. Because I do. With everything I am. Don't worry, you will be my future wife, and I will